Hey everybody, welcome to Forex Analysis for Synergy FX. It is Thursday, March the 22nd, and today we're going to be looking at three different pairs again, but before we get started, quick risk disclaimer. Foreign exchange trading carries a high level of risk. Before you decide to trade foreign exchange, we encourage you to consider your investment objectives, your risk tolerance, and your trading experience. It is possible to lose some or all of your initial investment, so don't invest money you can't afford to lose. Seek advice from an independent financial or tax advisor, and all information provided in this video is for educational purposes only and should not be construed as trading advice or counsel. So here we go. As always, I'd like to start with the euro, just to get a quick glance of where the market is at. Currently, right now, what I see is a lot of indecision. We've struggled to push down from these highs back at around 1.325 area. And I see sellers selling and buyers pushing it back up, and buyers buying and sellers pushing it back down. So there's definitely, we seem to be at an equilibrium right now with the euro, sort of between these two levels here. And I think that this might continue for at least a couple days. And this may sound like a bad thing, but if you're patient enough to wait it out, the biggest moves come from the biggest uncertainty. So we should see a breakout of the euro, if not tomorrow, maybe next week. So a couple levels that I'll be looking for the breakout is if it is in the direction of the upside. I think that the close of this bar will be very important at 1.32224, and also obviously the high of any previous uptrend is going to be important. So 1.32445 I'll be looking at. And those are just a couple levels to the upside. If we start closing above those levels, I'll be more inclined to believe that the breakout is going to be towards the upside. And if we do start to break toward the downside, I see close of this bar at 1.31821 being important, and also the close of the most recent low, which is at 1.31517. So those are just a couple levels I'll be looking at. My bias right now is flat. I can't see any specific bias for the euro, and I think that other people are going to feel the same way. So a couple pairs that I see with a little bit more opportunity in the near term are definitely the dollar Swiss. We had a up push and then a down push, a lot like the euro, the opposite of the euro obviously. And as you can see from a little bit shorter term charts, we have gotten to the 100 SMA, which is beginning to slow down and go sideways. So this again leads to a little bit of uncertainty. We have two bars up, possibly a third bar might come around. We might push up to the 200-hour SMA. But for now, I really like these setups where there's very defined risk levels on each side of the price. So right now we're sitting at 0.91292. And there's some very clear levels to define risk if we do start to break above these. So again, the close of this large bar is at 0.91540, and the close of another big down move is at 0.90829. So those are a couple levels that I'll be looking at. If it does start to push to the downside, I'll again be looking at previous lows. So either way, for the Swiss, I think we have solid points to define our trades and good places to look for swings and swing ups and swing downs. One pair that interests me the most right now is the Canadian dollar, which, despite uncertainty in Europe, has had a strong push to the upside today from investors. People have been buying this pair in droves. Not for any specific reason, no real news coming out of Canada recently. But one thing that I look at, actually in the weeklies, I don't trade the weeklies, but I do look for certain candles in the weeklies that will help me to look for momentum in the markets. So when I look at the weeklies, I like to look at bars that are extremely small and closing very near the open. So I like to look for small bars and small shadows too. So as you can see, last week we had an extremely small range between the open and the close of the Canadian dollar, and usually when this happens, that points to a high amount of uncertainty. It means that no one was really biased towards the upside or downside for a whole week, which is a pretty big deal in these markets. So since the big guys aren't making any money from small moves, they like to push pairs. And so far from what I see, this pair looks like it's being pushed toward the upside. We had a strong push down from the lows at around 0.988, and we haven't really closed in terms of retracements. We haven't really started to close much lower since. So I think that if the Canadian dollar does start to close above levels like the high right here, we should see a pretty significant move to the upside. And these are good levels to look at for weeklies. I love this setup. When I see a candle like this, I get really excited because it means that something's in store. And it doesn't always go in the direction this could shoot down, but either way, it's always a pretty monstrous move. So that's just a couple things that I'm looking for this week, and I think that it's going to be important in the next few days to not get too impatient, to look at levels that you see as risk tolerable, and being able to put trades in when you know that the market could potentially reverse and go against you. So yeah, those are some things I'll be looking for this week. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to follow us at Synergy FX, we'll be posting updates throughout the week. So good luck trading, and again, thanks for watching.